Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Woohoo!
My name is Alexa Carlin. I am an author, speaker, and founder of the School of Scope, which is one of the first online programs teaching people and business owners how to create a strategy for Periscope to grow their tribe, make money, and earn that additional revenue and work with brands. So I'm really excited to be moderating the Going Live panel. Before I have our panelists introduce themselves, I want to see a round of hands. Raise your hand if you are using any live streaming platform. Oh, we need more hands up. Okay, so hopefully you learn more after this panel. So Rudy, why don't you go introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning. My name is Rudy Ellis. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Joycaster. We are a platform that enables broadcast creators and live creators to amplify their reach by streaming on more than one live streaming platform.
Awesome. Hi guys, I'm Olga Kay. I started my entertainment career in the circus as a juggler, and if you find me some apples, I can probably juggle and wake you up. Yeah, as that person goes, oh my God, I'm gonna find some apples for her. And in 2006, I've discovered YouTube, and I turned that into my business in 2009, and I've been making YouTube videos for the last 9 years. I create sketch comedy, lifestyle, fashion and beauty, video games, and right now I split my time between building my YouTube presence and also running my sock business. And these are socks with ears. I'll model them for you. Feel free to woo! Yeah. So that's what I do. Thank you.
And Josh?
So I'm Josh Murdoch, also known as Professor Josh. I teach at Valencia College here in Orlando. I'm also an instructional designer. And I've been a blogger. I'm all about the geeky things, the tech, the toys. I also do a lot of webinars and things like that, and do Blog Talk TV. One of the sponsors here, Blog Talk TV, is a national TV show. We're on Cox and we're on Bright House On Demand. So we talk all about blogging and all great stuff. And also, I help organize Florida BlogCon, so here locally in Florida, our blogger conference.
Awesome. So, round of applause to everyone. So Periscope, Meerkat, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, they're all different live streaming platforms, and they allow your audience to really be with you in the moment. And we know in this day and age, everybody wants things now. They want to be the first to know something. They want to be at the event with you, and that's the beauty of live streaming. So can you guys tell me what has been one of your favorite streams that you've done so far?
So probably one of my favorite streams is actually a great webinar I did a while back talking about the geeky tools I love, so multimedia tools to educators. I was able to reach out to 500 to 800 educators and teach them some great tools and things they could use. So that's one thing I love to do.
I would say my favorite was when I was partner up with Nestle, and I had to take my phone to the beach, and it was a Nestle campaign for drumstick ice cream, and I took it to the beach, and I got to talk to strangers and just give them free ice cream and see that interaction, and nothing was planned, no one knew what was going on, and it was just, I think that's the beauty of it.
Well, I'm not a content creator, but our platform, one of the coolest streams we've done is actually the Streaming Awards show. So normally people do a live stream, it goes to one platform, but we syndicated that channel, that actual stream to 10 different YouTube channels, their MySpace page. So being able to use our platform to see that was actually really, really cool.
There's a MySpace page?
Believe it or not, MySpace does do live, yeah.
So you talked about, Olga, you talked about the Nestle campaign, which was, IZEA brought that to life, which was the first sponsored campaign on Periscope. Can you talk about how that went down? What were the logistics? Was there a storyboard? How you worked with the brand?
Yeah, there's something about live streaming that I like. Coming from YouTube, I script everything. I come up with an idea, I script it out, I direct it, I act in it, and then I market it and I see who I can put in my videos. When it comes to live streaming, I don't do any of that. I like to be more spontaneous. I had some bullet points where I broke down my broadcast into 3 different segments, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one at night. My broadcast was 5 to 10 minutes. In the morning, I went to buy the ice cream, and I showed people the process of it. And I talked to a stranger while that was happening, and he had no idea he was live, so we had this interesting conversation. In the afternoon, I took all the ice cream to the beach, and I just gave them out to strangers and had a conversation with them. And at night, it was a competition between my friend and I, who is gonna eat the drumstick the fastest.
Did you get a brain freeze?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And I think she won. It's okay. I didn't have to work out as much.
So live streaming, do you guys find even with Joycaster, there's a certain time that users tune in live and then drop off?
Yeah, whenever you're doing a live stream, the biggest thing is actually the pre-promotion. Obviously there's apps on your phone that you can take advantage of a large following, but anytime you're going to conduct a live stream, leading up to that, you want to obviously leverage social media, leverage the marketing elements in place. So definitely, pre-promoting is key. And if you're a consistent live streamer, definitely have a schedule. So a lot of times, you're building credibility, you're building rank, you're getting, from an SEO standpoint, people know that, hey, at this time, this person's going to go live, and I'm going to tune in. So sticking to a schedule is definitely key.
Yeah, I found that the way I started with Periscope was I did a morning motivation series. And so my followers always know at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, I'm there, I'm motivating them. And even some people said, they switched their alarm clock for my Periscope notification.
Wow.
And that's really when I have the most viewers because they know when I'll be on versus just going on randomly. Has that worked with you guys?
I think it's so important to have that set schedule to be able to get people back again. It's kind of like, here, I'm gonna offer this content up, come get it. And they know and they can share it with others. Plus finding out and figuring out what your audience really wants. Who's your audience? Are they people that can be available at lunchtime? Or are they people that are not able to get to like 9 o'clock at night and be able to really sit down and use their computer or their app or be able to watch this live stream and communicate and participate with it? You have to start thinking about these things, and it's so important to figure out that with your audience. It's just like a Twitter chat, the idea, when's the best time for that to happen? When's this live action happening and that you'll get participation back with that, not just a feed out there and then no one's gonna watch it?
Yeah, so Periscope is the 7th social media platform that I use. So for me, it's
7.
So for me, it's a little hard to schedule it out. But yeah, it's very important to have a schedule, and that's exactly what I did on YouTube when I started out.
Very cool. So with live streaming, you don't have the luxury of a reshoot. So as a marketer, what do you think we should be thinking about before going live or before even working with an influencer?
Nothing. Well, and I say nothing because I think the beauty of live streaming in today's world, especially if it's an influencer, it's to see how real they are and see how many times they can mess up and pick themselves up. Because I think that's why people tune in, to see the raw material and nothing scripted.
Right, it's all about authenticity. So say I'm an Instagrammer or a blogger and I don't do that much video. Do you think I would have more success on live streaming versus YouTube and Vine since I'm not into editing and producing?
Yes.
I think it depends, it really depends. You can have well done live streaming events too. If you're really good at video and producing it and get a crew, maybe it's not just yourself. Maybe you're working with a team of people to get together and do these really well done live streams, or a group of people if you're doing a blab and these certain people that are really good at it. You need to have good audio, you need to have good lighting, and all these things become an important part to kind of pre-set up. But I think anyone can become good at what they're doing as long as they practice and try it and give it a try and reach out and do it over and over again.
Yeah, I've been meeting a bunch of you guys in the audience, and I heard a lot of people say I'm better behind the scenes, and they don't really like being with live streaming, especially with Periscope or Meerkat, you're kind of just staring at your face, and it's kind of like a long selfie. So you do have to get used to that type of platform. But even if you're not in front of the camera, live streaming could be so beneficial as a viewer. So you could talk about some experience as a viewer. Like, what are some things that you love to watch?
Well, first I want to give an advice to people that say I'm better behind the scenes. I always say that the phone is nothing, the camera lens is nothing intimidating. You just think that this is your best friend that you're telling a story to. And it just happens that there's hundreds of people on the other side watching. But really, if you think about it, there's only one person on the toilet watching at a time. Okay, not everybody's on the toilet, but you know what I mean.
Do you guys want to add to that?
Go ahead, Jess.
I think, the content I like to be able to interact with it. I don't want just the stale, like, here I'm watching this live stream, because that's okay, but how can you interact with the people maybe that are on there? If there's multiple people, is there someone like contributing to the chat or the feed or what's going on and interacting with the other people involved? I think that's an important part, especially building community. That's the great thing about live stream is you can actually communicate with people real time and get questions and interact with your audience and not just have, here's my video, watch it.
Yeah, I would add that engagement is definitely key. Being able to interact, the chatting, taking questions, just like if this was, you guys were asking questions now, and being able to have your questions heard and be answered, and it's now, it's real time. So that's one of the benefits with live streaming is the fear of missing out. There may be a moment that you would not be able to capture, no matter how well you script it. So you definitely want to be able to engage and interact with your fans and viewers.
Yeah. And interaction is really good. For example, running my sock business, I always have a lot of questions. I'm a new businesswoman who started a business from scratch. So for me, when I have questions, I go live streaming and I ask my audience, what is the best shipping rate? What is the most you'll pay for shipping if you live internationally? And it helps me really understand who my customers are and what they're willing to pay. And after that, I shape my business to the rest of the world.
Real-time customer validation.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's a great point that all three of you pointed out. It's that engagement. Like Ted talked about the new platform, IZEAFest, and it's based off engagement versus just the number of followers. And with Periscope, that's my main live streaming platform I'm on, it's tons of engagement, and I get to know people even though I've never even met them face to face. And actually with your sock business, going it a step further than just getting to know your audience, it's great for brands, especially products. Like for example, my community and we designed a bracelet. I'm wearing it now, you can't really see it, but it's my community of followers is called the Good Vibe Tribe, # Good Vibe Tribe. And they said we wanted a t-shirt or a bracelet. So together on Periscope, we designed it. They picked out the color, they picked out the font, they picked out the style. And then right away, once it came out, I sold out. And that's amazing. Like you can co-collaborate a design with socks, and then your audience feels like they had a part in that. And that's for any brand, really.
I think it's a great way to get lead generation for brands too. If you have good content that you can produce live and people are signing up beforehand so they can view that, even if they don't come on at that time, you might have half the people. Anything that's free, you probably have half the people show up once they subscribe or they want to see it. But it's great lead generation for those brands too. So you can work with them as a great live person, someone that really can present, talk with the audience, make that happen live, but then they can go back and use that as a great lead generation.
Yeah, definitely. So with most live streams, they only last 24 hours. I know YouTube Live is different, but with Periscope, it only lasts 24 hours. Meerkat, it doesn't even, there's no replay. So how would you guys capitalize on that stream for those 24 hours?
Oh, that's me. I usually, if I really like the broadcast that I did and I feel like I shared some valuable information that the rest of my audience that didn't get to tune in saw, I just share it on the rest of my social media and bring more people in and potentially bring new fans in because of that.
I think you're going to see a change in that. We live in a world where you DVR everything, right? How often do you watch a live TV show? You're going to have that on-demand type of service. And it might be more of a paid service. It might be different brands and different apps that are out there added in. If you want it live for so long, if you want a collection of things, those type of things could happen. So I see in the world we live in, we want stuff on demand. Even if we can't make it live, can we interact or access that later on?
I think it's definitely, you need it. You need the archive, especially if you want to potentially monetize it, create a library, be able to license content that you create. So having an archive of any type of event, whether it's good or bad, you never know when you may need that for sizzle reels or for production. So having that content is key.
Yeah, there's now a service called Catch, K-A-T-C-H, and they are working with Periscope and Meerkat to archive all videos, but it is a third-party service. But with Periscope, if any of you guys are new to it, you can save all of your videos. And there was this one, the beauty of live streaming. I was live streaming in my pool and one weekend, and I put my phone on my tripod, and I'm like having fun in my pool, talking, and then all of a sudden a little wind blew, and boom, my phone fell right into the pool. The live stream did not stop. My viewers went swimming with me, and then I didn't know it was still on, so I take my phone out of the pool, I throw it to my dad, and I'm like, get it in rice, get it in rice. And the whole thing, my phone's in rice, and then I'm like, oh my God, the hearts are still flowing, people are still commenting. and this is how much I love my community, because then I pick up the bag of rice and I start talking to them through the rice instead of turning my phone off. And I ended up putting that on YouTube, and it's got hundreds of views on YouTube, and it still is getting good views. So
That's awesome.
that's a great way to repurpose content.
I think that's your favorite broadcast, probably.
Probably, yeah. The beauty of live streaming. But yeah, so as an advertiser, what kind of metrics can I expect back from a live streaming broadcast? Anybody? If Josh,
I mean, I think you're looking at how many people signed up initially if you have a sign up. Because don't forget, live streaming's been around for a long time. It's just become a lot easier because all you need to do is have this phone here, right? You don't have to have all this equipment. You don't have to have the super bandwidth and those type of things to be able to do that. But when you start thinking about metrics, how many people signed up? How many people viewed? Where did they drop off? How long did they stay on? How many people chatted? If there was a chat room or some ability to do that and communicated, how many people shared it out to other people? And then afterwards, the archives, how important that is. Will I get other signups? Will I get people to view that and view that content later? That's so important.
Yeah, I think the one key number will be obviously the unique views. So you can have a lot of people watch, and you don't have people just refreshing the page. So you definitely want to keep track of unique views, because that could be valuable to know how many people tuned in or actually watching it.
What I've experienced working with a few brands on Periscope is the analytics. There's not that many analytics. You could see number of viewers and replay viewers and retention rate. But what I think has been most valuable is the people that share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, because you can track that if you put a hashtag in the title. And then also there's a screenshot feature now where people take screenshots and then tweet it out. So actually taking those tweets and saying, oh, I loved your broadcast about this, and showing it to the brand, right there, the engagement skyrockets, and plus you're also tapping into another platform. So disclosure is everything in sponsored social. How often are you disclosing within the videos? Is it in the title? What importance do you think that has with live streaming? Olga, if you want to talk about that.
There's this, people like to be entertained, but they don't like to be sold to. So I try to do the minimum I can do, where I put a creative hashtag in a title, and that's about it. And then I just talk about the brand, but I don't say, yeah, I've been sponsored this morning by so-and-so. Because I want them to be entertained and not feel like I'm selling something to them.
I think a lot of times you can have sponsors and put it right in that title, depending on how much they're promoting it. Who is it presented by? Is it someone promoting it, helping get it out, and not really forcing their product or their service on you, but they know this is great content, and it'll help them get out a message they want. So I think it's so important to start thinking about, how are you going to do that? Is it up front during the video? Is it throughout the video? Do you thank your sponsors and that type of thing? I think that's an important part to think about.
Yeah, thanking the sponsor, I feel like, is the best way.
Right. It's different than Vine and YouTube, where you're creating the video specifically with that brand. With live streaming, it's your personality comes across, so you have to stay authentic. And like, for example, I would never be able to support a brand that my viewers know I don't eat or drink, for example, because they know my life, you know. I live stream in my pajamas, I live stream doing my makeup, they know. So that's, I would say, number one importance is making sure that that brand and influencer relationship works based on what the influencer's brand is.
By the way, we do have 6 minutes. Should we start freaking out?
No, 6 minutes is fine. We're gonna, in about a minute and a half, we'll do some time for Q&A. I want to ask one question to Rudy. Your company takes live content and pushes it across other channels. We're using it here today. I'm sure a lot of you guys are live streaming this event on your YouTube channel using Joycaster. But how do you think this helps audiences grow based past just the initial streamer?
Oh, I think it's huge. I mean, being able to leverage the amount of exposure and discoverability that you can get by having your content just exist on more than one platform, that's huge. I mean, our goal with, at Joycaster, shameless plug, is we're treating live streaming distribution similar to social media. So not having, the traditional way of my stream on one platform, we're embracing all these different platforms so you can get more user engagement, discoverability, just stumble upon effect, and the numbers are showing that it's definitely working in the world of gaming, in the world of content creation across the board. It's definitely huge and it's valuable.
Nice. Well, I'm using Joycaster for this event.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll take it to the audience. Does anybody have any questions? I'll repeat the question if you want to shout it out. Oh, never mind.
Zoom.
My question is actually for you, Alex, with the School of Scope. What would you say is the best way to be, if anybody's new to Periscope, that's me, what's the best way to get started to be the most effective and to really reach and connect with your audience?
I always say, one, just start, but with the first broadcast, I would say talk about what you're passionate about, because that, you could really talk about it easily. Whatever excites your soul, talk about that, because then you're gonna hook the right audience. People are gonna follow you because they like what you're saying, and it's gonna go with your brand. So the first broadcast that you ever do, one, talk about something that you're knowledgeable on and that you're passionate about. And two, have that topic in mind, have a few pointers, because your first broadcast may only have 3 to 5 people, and if they're not asking you questions and not interacting, it's gonna be dull if you have nothing to keep on talking about. So make sure you have kind of a topic in mind, a few set points, so if you have no interaction, you can continue the broadcast. Welcome. Any other questions? We have one all the way back there, or here.
So I had a question about branding your show. So I've never done any live streaming. So besides doing your promotion and trying to make sure people are going to tune in when you actually do your broadcast, do you have any tips on doing on-screen branding? Since you can't do like a bump or a lower thirds when you start or as you're showing, do you have any experience on how you could do on-screen graphics or maintain your brand as you're doing your live stream?
Well, I've seen a lot of people do branding on Periscope because they set up like their own studio. For example, I stream my morning motivation series from my desk, and behind me I have my vision board. So on that vision board is my whole brand and personality, and then also I can have maybe schoolofscope.com or your website or whatever logo you want. But yeah, it really is a visual platform. So you, instead of thinking about tech with the, the on-screen different graphics and editing, it's all how can I make it visually appealing so it shows who I am.
And I think like for platforms like Blab and that, it's almost like a radio show or a live podcast. So you can set up like a studio. Set it up like a studio, your spot, your individual spot, but you'll have guests on. So make sure they know, beforehand how they're going to be set up, what kind of mic to use, those type of things. But can they put, something in front of them, behind them, those type of parts. It's hard with the apps to do that. Now, there are live streaming platforms that you can do branding on, and you can pay to do branding on. But if you're doing like some of the apps like Periscope and Meerkat and Blab, those are hard to do that branding. Or a t-shirt.
A t-shirt, yeah.
The best way would have a really good t-shirt and wear it out there. Joycaster.
Yep, and a hat.
All right, well, those are great tips, guys. Thank you for.
Got more questions?
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you so much before I ask my question, but what advice do you have for young professionals looking to get a head start in the field?
Okay, I'll talk about that. Young professionals getting a head start in the field. So, well, it depends on what your niche is. If you are looking to, grow your brand or even grow your brand to get a job somewhere else, I've seen actually a lot of recruiters using Periscope. For example, I'm a speaker and I've landed 5 speaking engagements just from broadcasting. So, like I said before, talk about what you're passionate about. Focus on a niche. Remember, you can't be. Don't try to be good at everything. But think about, okay, I want to work in fashion and I love the marketing side of fashion. So I'm going to give tips every single day, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m., the top tip on fashion marketing. And then it becomes your own series. You can create a hashtag so then you can see when people retweet it, and then you can talk with your audience and really grow your other platforms. But I would say think about your niche and then create a series around that, and then every other broadcast can be fun or different things in that industry.
And see what other people are doing. Join in. Watch other people. What are they doing? What makes them successful? What are some tips that you can gain from them? And feel free to reach out to people too. I'm sure a lot of people in this community are willing to share what's going on and what's happening. Something like Blab too, you might want to join in on a couple Blabs before you actually host your own. Yeah. Maybe you just want to be a guest on those and join in and see what it's like and go through that experience.
I think whatever content you create, just from that perspective, just being authentic, just like what Alexa's saying, is being authentic about you and joining in a conversation, that's just going to come out naturally.
Well, thank you guys so much. Definitely follow all of us on live streaming platforms. And thank you, Josh, Olga, and Rudy for all of your input.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you guys on Periscope.
Yay. Great job. Thank you all.